All right, we are live. It's showtime. Let's share a screen. Just a window. All right, there we are. We'll get rolling real fast here. Just move that so I can see comments if they happen. All right, so hey everybody. Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It's Monday, September 13th, 1:02 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. All right, today's been interesting. Let's look at the market. Looking at the squares. We'll come back to those in just a sec while they reload. Of course, everybody knows Walmart announces major partnership with Litecoin. Ended up not being true. Here it is. Yeah, Litecoin dumps. Crypto slide after Walmart confirms press release was fake. So we know that that was not true. But I'm wondering if it was all bad. Also, I thought I'd mention this story. California Republicans shocked to discover they've already voted in recall election. Interesting. The deep state is extraordinarily strong in California. We're going to see how that goes. It's not about what side I'm on. It's just election fraud has become the norm, hasn't it? Not just the last election, but in a good number of the last elections. Um, Only one I really trust is George Washington's election, really. Anyway, I thought I'd mention this too. Get your money out of the bank now. If law passes, no privacy at all. This is Southern Prepper One. Good YouTube channel if you like prepper stuff. He's very good. And what he's mentioning is this. It's the whole idea of if more than $600 in transaction, if more than a $600 transaction happens in or out of an account, they need to report it to the IRS. Anyway, this he actually linked to the bill, well, the proposed legislation over at Treasury.gov and the American Families Plan Tax Compliance Agenda. Anyway, this is all just another good case for crypto because, good heavens, having that USDC or USD or Bitcoin or whatever it might be on that hardware wallet off the grid. There you go. When short-term traders are selling, we buy. This is Crypto Quant. They're always putting out a lot of great stuff, but basically they just show when the non-whales sell, the whales buy. Not just the whales buy, but everybody buys. So weak hands get bought. Let's keep on with the show. The squares are probably back right now. There they are. So in the market, we're seeing a mix of green and red. This is the last hour. It's been on, it's been off. And right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are just barely in the green. ADA is barely in the green. Sol, well, it was in the green, but now it's not. Anyway, it's a rough day in the market. As we all know, Litecoin pumped and dumped. And we'll take a look at that. And I got some brief thoughts on that. Now, looking at today so far, this is it should be a period all I wanted to do period let's look at just that'll do. This will be a daily candle then. So far this day of September 12th we've had 500 million in longs get wrecked and 168 million in shorts get wrecked. So definitely the sentiment for today has been longed and they got wrecked. That's not too positive. Let's look at, let me refresh these things. Sorry, I usually do this right before I start, but I'm going to do it again just so we know we have up-to-date data. Gonna look over here. Anybody knocking to get in? Nope, I don't see anybody. All right, we're good to go. Like I say, I sent this out to, I sent the live stream link out to places that I'm at, different trading groups and stuff like that. So anybody who wants to hop in and chat about anything while I'm on, hop in, I'll let you in and we'll talk about it. All right, so last 24 hours we're at 36,000 spot trading volume on Binance. I'm sorry, 36 billion spot trading on Binance. Like to see at least 30, preferably 50 for a good day in spot trading, but we are up 84% last 24 hours also. So definitely we are beginning to get over the weekend's extreme lack of volume that I was seeing at least. 24-hour volume for derivatives, basically futures, 100 million. That's not bad. I should say 100 funds, thousands, 100 billion. 100. Wait a second. Hundreds, thousands, millions. Yeah, 100 billion. Wow, is that 100 billion? No. Wait. Yeah, I guess so. 36 billion? 36 million. Wait. 100s, thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions. I'm sorry. So 36 million on Binance in spot trading. We'd like to see at least 50. 30 will do. 100 million futures on Binance, up 84% also last 24 hours. So like I say, that's good, above 70 million for derivatives, futures basically, on Binance. That's good to see. I like that. That's good to see on any day. So right now we're at 100 million and we're up 84% last 24 hours. So really that is not bad at all. So we're seeing, volume over the weekend was not that hot. We're definitely seeing it pick up. Now, this I like seeing a whole lot. I'm going to refresh it one more time. 5.5 billion in Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours. That's pretty extraordinary. 3 billion of that on Coinbase. I'm sorry, the 3 billion of that on Binance. Almost a billion. It's 955 million on Coinbase. This is not bad at all. So 3 billion on Binance, just under a billion on Coinbase. Definitely we're seeing some stuff happen. 600 million on Bitfinex, Kraken 345 million. So we're seeing great numbers. I'm really liking this. Yep. Bittrex on a good day is 24 million plus. I'm liking this. So we're seeing Gemini 111 million. So we're seeing some beautiful volume today. This is good. 3 means the network is on, and over the weekend we were off and down at 2 for a 24-hour average. Not good at all. Earlier this morning we just got over 3 billion. Now we're at 5.5 billion. So this week is picking up in volume. The more volume we have, to me, what I'm used to seeing is that's more of a chance of Bitcoin moving up. Less volume, more chance I consider that volatility towards the downside. Low volume, volatility towards the downside. More volume, volatility towards the upside. All right, looking at longs versus shorts on Binance for all the volume is 71% longs, 28% shorts. So definitely a powerful long bias for Bitcoin on Binance. For Ethereum, 70% long, 29% short. That is extraordinary for Ethereum. So we're seeing definitely a long bias for Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. Now, this morning, as we all know, Litecoin, this is Litecoin versus USDC over on Coinbase. And as you can see, if we know about the pump and dump this morning, but note this, Litecoin's been riding the 200 moving average really hard. A lot of little pink square magic Barbies or magic merit badges, as we call them. So every time it crosses above the 200 moving average here on the 4-hour chart, you get a little pink Barbie, as they tend to be called. So this is good. It's been trying to get above the 200 moving average. We can see how a little while ago on the 4-hour chart, it did basically dump with Bitcoin, but it really never totally failed. It kind of held its own. It was riding that 200 moving average. And of course, we get this great big pump and the dump because of the Walmart, fake news. The thing is, though, really, we start it and we end it in the same place. So I just want to mention, I know a lot of people saw that news this morning. If you were up early, you saw Litecoin moving and you were like, I'm going to get in because, well, logical thing to do. Why not? Everyone has their way of trading. Everyone does some things that make sense and don't make sense. Everyone goes outside of their trading rules once in a while, whatever. So if you ended up getting screwed on this one, Litecoin's chart is not looking particularly bad. It looks like it's heading towards a breakout anyway. It did a pump, it did a dump. So if you bought some and you ended up maybe in the red, not where you'd like to be, I would say Litecoin is still kind of headed for a breakout anyway. That's how it looks to me. It's just kind of right now riding the 200 moving average because of Bitcoin volatility. And with that said, I mean, if you look at the pattern we have here, if you just follow that pump and dump that we had, I mean, you're kind of looking at a possible, BART pattern happening anyway. So, like I say, if you're in the red on Litecoin right now, don't sweat it because really, even though it pumped and dumped, maybe got you in the red if you bought while it was pumping. I wouldn't sweat it because it looks like it's gonna turn. It looks like was headed towards a turn up anyway. Looking at a 45-minute chart, it's definitely, look at that. It on a 45-minute chart, short time frame, it challenged and crossed the 200 moving average in the 314. Looks good, but still, look at that on the 45-minute chart. It's still, basically, yeah, pump and dump, and it did catch a lot of people off guard. But it looks like it was heading towards, and it still is heading towards. If you look at its, the indicators here, it's still heading towards a breakout. So, like I say, anybody who got caught in the red on that deal this morning, hang in there. I think, like I say, Litecoin ended up, and it started and ended in the same place, and it looks like it's got a positive direction to it, for it anyway. So whatever, you'll be fine. Looking at Bitcoin versus USDT on the weekly, still the weekly MACD, the tangent is going the wrong way. I don't like seeing that whatsoever. The histogram is closing towards the negative. I'm watching that really close, as you can see back here, when that did cross to the negative on the 21 weekly EMA. As also, when you see the 21 weekly EMA, here in the weekly chart, when you see us cross below it or above it, it's usually a rather bullish or bearish sign. So watch out. We are closer than I like to be, riding weekly red candles, and like I said, the weekly MACD tangent is negative. So that creates a lot of downward pressure on the daily chart. Looking at the daily chart, okay, just checking for people. Looking at the daily chart, this is the 200 moving average right here on top, the white one, and the 314 below. The daily MACD is just dismal. It's still very, very weak. It's riding the 200 moving average incredibly tightly. Right now, it's technically below it. So, be watchful. Bitcoin is just, it's a weak chart, in my opinion, on the daily. Looking at the daily for the 50 moving average and the 100 moving average. In general, looking at these indicators, they're fairly indecisive, but not really strong. Bitcoin is just struggling to stay above that 50 moving average. It's kind of riding it pretty tightly there. So really, Bitcoin is just, it could go either way. Here's the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. As you can see, we had that dump a little while ago, and now it's trying to stay above the 314 moving average. So Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, and you can kind of draw this out here a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. I mean, we had this upwards channel going on. You can kind of draw it like that if you want to, or maybe more accurately, you can do that, or you could even kind of draw it like this if you want it. But one way or the other, however you want to see it, Bitcoin has definitely dropped below an upwards channel that it was in on the 4-hour chart, broke below the 200 moving average, and so far, it's still ranged between the 200 moving average, the white moving average, and the 314 moving average, the purple one there. So it's all about, can it keep that 314 moving average? If it can bounce there, it's still a good spot to bounce. It's still a respectable, powerful enough spot for it to bounce. Let's actually do a fib here, a fib retracement. Let's go bam, bam, and look at this and see where we're actually at. It does look like we break below. It does look like possibly we're going to look at a 382 bounce that could be in place, and that does roughly match the 314 moving average here on the 4-hour chart. So a bounce, well, we've already wicked below it, but around 43,788, that would be the .382 fib line as I see it. It looks like we have more support. This is a spot to bounce. I mean, worst case, I think, well, I can't say worst case because it could get really worse, but the .5 is 40,098, and then the 618 fib, which is last place I want to see Bitcoin bounce, would be 38,181. So it's all about, can we keep ranging between the 200 and 314 right now on the 4-hour chart? And if we can, then that's going to be a positive thing. If we look at the directional index here, one thing I do see is that we are trending towards the positive side. I won't really, ADX more in this situation doesn't quite mean as much to me, the white line there. The KRI, it is trending towards the positive. That's good. It's about to break green. If we look at the stochastic RSI, come on, stochastic RSI, got to click in the right spot. Stochastic RSI, come on, work with me, come on. There we go, stochastic RSI has switched positive again. That looks good. It was down there in the buy area. I like that. wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear. It has not switched positive yet, but it is down here where we tend to where it tends to gather before we have positive bounces. And so let's see, it is turning positive here. So let's see how that matches up with reality. It definitely does tend to, yeah. So it looks like we do have a possible bounce there. Looking at the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear, which is over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can find it there. Very, very powerful indicator. It's kind of like a super nifty MACD, and it does appear to be, if we zoom in, about to cross positive again in the proper spot for it to do so. So let's see that 4-hour chart. It's not looking that awful, really. Now looking at the 45-minute chart, we're still below the 200 moving average. The Super Guppy or Madrid moving averages are all red. You can find that over at bitcoindailyview.com. Under indicators, I link to that. It's on TradingView. And the directional index is green. ADX is still pretty low at 17. KRI is in the green. Stochastic RSI is showing actually a bit overbought right now. But the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is definitely showing that we are in a nice groovy upwards momentum. So I wonder if we can get the squeeze indicator to fire up here. There it is. Looking at the squeeze indicator, this is nice. I like that because we're seeing the squeeze indicator move towards a more positive direction. That's nice to see. I think, especially when we start seeing some green there on the 45-minute squeeze indicator. We already have green for the directional index. When we see the ADX start to hit around 20, especially 23, 25, definitely, that's when we're going to see some upwards momentum. So if we can keep this volume up, a challenge of the 200 moving average here, getting above that and getting these 45-minute indicators to look a little bit more positive would be great. So right now the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart is 45,796. So basically, definitely if we can break 46,000, we're back in the game plan. And if we can find support above that 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, that's going to be groovy. 4-hour chart, it does look like we're in a possible bounce zone. Time will only tell. Now, Ethereum, really, it's kind of doing what Bitcoin's doing here on the 45-minute chart. It's just working on building momentum to get above that 200 moving average. And the 200 moving average for Ethereum right now would be right around 3,372. Looking at a 4-hour chart for Ethereum. Yep. It's ranging between the 200 and the 314 moving average, looking pretty positive. Indicators are okay, so we'll see. Really, for Ethereum and Bitcoin, they both need on this 45-minute chart to get above that 200 moving average. They need better looking 4-hour charts. I want to see a more positive, bounce here on the 4-hour off that 314 moving average. Start challenging and getting above that. The 200 moving average, which here is 47,634. So really, we want to get closer to those, 48,000 plus would be great to find some support. And then, Bitcoin can start moving up. The week is young. Volume is definitely increasing. This Litecoin pump and dump, if you got involved in that and you ended up, buying on the way up and you got a little bit wrecked if you're down, I wouldn't sweat it because really looking at Litecoin itself, it's got a good enough looking chart. It's almost in looking at a 4-hour chart. I'd be watching for a break above the 200 moving average here and support above it, and then I would probably get in if I was looking at a 4-hour swing trade. The only issue I have is it's not exactly where I'd like it to be. I want that 4-hour, I want that 200 moving average break above and find support above strong indicators. But if I was a little bit crazy tough, phony brave, and wanted to do something risky, I would buy Litecoin right now. Not financial advice, and too much purpose only. I'm just mentioning this because, like I say, if you got wrecked, I think you're in a good enough spot. And not to mention, Litecoin does have room to move. What inspired me today about the whole Litecoin pump and dump, yeah, it's messed up, fake news. I'm sorry for people who bought at the top and got wrecked. I think they'll be okay if they just hold. But the issue, what I see that's so positive about this is that was early in the morning for the U.S., a lot of the U.S., and when people were hearing about that. And think about the money that flowed in, the way Litecoin was pumping. I see it as really inspirational. I think people who got caught in the red, they're going to be okay. Just give it some time. And then, but think about that. Think of all the money and think of all the people that are watching crypto that cannot wait to get in when something's moving in the green. And I don't think that's wrong. A lot of people are really persnickety with their nonsense about this is the only way, use leverage, don't use leverage, you know, trade the 4 hour, trade the two, to only invest, never sell long, Bitcoin on swings like daily MACD or weekly MACD crosses, dollar cost averaging is the only way. Just a lot of bullshit out there about how it's supposed to, the only way supposedly you can make money. Um, I would definitely say that the only way you're really going to make money for sure is, the more knowledge you gain from diverse aspects of everything. And um, it just kind of brings me, I'm really jazzed to see what happened with Litecoin because it goes to show, people are out there, they want to make money in crypto. I believe in my core, they also not only want to make money, but they believe in crypto. And if you show people a direction where they cannot lose, where they're not going to lose money, where they're going to gain at all, they're in. And I think Litecoin's ridiculous pump showed that. I mean, people are definitely into the peaceful revolution. They're into crypto. They're into Bitcoin. They love their Doge, you name it. And they are ready to go all in the moment they see some finding a little bit of hope that some people have hope for the world and would like to, make some money. So I find this to be tremendously positive, and I'm glad to see that when an opportunity presents itself, that an unfathomable amount of people come running with their money. And I think that's way more positive and shows a hopeful future to me for humanity more than um, anything negative. I would say, allow some hope in your heart for something good to happen in this world, because the fact that so many people showed up with their money when Litecoin was pumping, I think it's a good thing. Anyway, anybody else around? Nope. Okay, so with that said, remember everybody, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you know what, for every like crazy ass speculative buy you've made on Uniswap, the very epicenter of shitcoins in the universe, that's more hope for humanity, and that makes a piece of shit globalist cry. So take care. Nice, gotta find my StreamYard. StreamYard, where'd you go? There you are. Okay, everybody. Talk to you later.